God cast Satan out of heaven due to his sin and rebellion, a significant event echoed by Jesus when he said that he saw Satan fall from heaven like lightning. However, this leads to a crucial question. Why didn't God simply kill Satan and banish him forever? Why does Satan still exist, continuing to influence the world? In this Bible study, we will delve into the reasons why God cannot and will not destroy Satan or his fallen angels, and what this means for believers today. Satan, though a widely recognized figure in Christian theology, is often misunderstood in terms of his role and nature. The name Satan itself is revealing, as it means adversary or enemy. It also carries the connotation of being fallen, but not in the past tense. Rather, it suggests an ongoing state of falling. This implies that Satan is in a continuous process of becoming darker and more corrupt, spiraling further into wickedness. The book of Revelation deepens this imagery by describing Satan as being cast into a bottomless pit, a metaphor for his perpetual state of decline. This concept ties closely to the destructive nature of pride, which can slowly ruin a person from within. Proverbs 16 verse 18 warns, "Pride goes before destruction," a principle that applies to both spiritual and worldly matters. Destruction in this context doesn't necessarily mean physical death. It can also refer to the slow unraveling of one's life. Relationships, finances, and opportunities can all be eroded by unchecked pride. David, in Psalm 3 verse 4, speaks of God redeeming his life from destruction, indicating that even in the midst of ongoing life, one can experience a form of spiritual or emotional ruin. The antidote to this, as the Bible consistently teaches, is humility. Satan, also known by the name Lucifer, originally held a lofty position in heaven. Created by God, Satan was an angel of immense beauty and wisdom, designed to reflect God's glory. However, Satan was not satisfied with his role of serving and worshiping the Almighty. He desired more. He craved to be worshipped himself, to ascend to a position of power equal to or even surpassing that of God. This unholy ambition led to an insurrection in heaven, with Satan rallying a faction of angels to his cause. These angels, who chose to align themselves with Satan, became known as fallen angels. The ensuing conflict in heaven was nothing short of cataclysmic. On one side stood Archangel Michael and the faithful angels, and on the other, Satan, who is depicted in Revelation as a massive dragon leading an army of demons. The battle was fierce, with the forces of light clashing against the forces of darkness. Yet, despite the intensity of the struggle, there was never any real question about the outcome. God's dominion and authority could not be overthrown. The war culminated in Satan and his angels being cast out of heaven. Revelation 12 verses 7 to 8 vividly describes this celestial battle. And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels fought back. But they were not strong enough, and they lost their place in heaven. This passage highlights that Satan and his followers once held a position in the heavenly realm, but through their rebellion, they forfeited it. But why, one might ask, did God not simply annihilate Satan and his followers? Why allow them to descend to earth, where they continue to wreak havoc and bring death and destruction upon humanity? The key lies in understanding the nature of God and the nature of Satan. First and foremost, God did not kill Satan because, as a spirit, Satan cannot die. Satan and his angels were created by God as spiritual beings, reflecting God's own nature as spirit. John 4 verse 24. Spirits, by their very essence, are immortal. They cannot be killed in the way that physical beings can be. The continued existence of Satan is a testament to the nature of spiritual beings and the purpose God has for them, even when they deviate from his will. Moreover, the Bible teaches that God has a purpose for all his creation, including Satan. Although Satan chose to rebel against God, his continued existence serves a role within God's overarching plan. In Isaiah 14, we get a glimpse into the mindset of Satan before his fall. This passage provides a profound insight into the root of Satan's rebellion. How you have fallen from heaven, morning star, son of the dawn. You have been cast down to the earth, you who once laid low the nations. You said in your heart, I will ascend to the heavens. I will raise my throne above the stars of God. I will sit enthroned on the Mount of Assembly, on the utmost heights of Mount Zaphon. I will ascend above the tops of the clouds. I will make myself like the Most High. But you are brought down to the realm of the dead, to the depths of the pit. This passage outlines Satan's proud ambitions and his ultimate downfall. His desire to exalt himself above God led to his expulsion from heaven. Similarly, Ezekiel 28 offers another account of Satan's fall, painting a picture of a being originally created in perfection and beauty, but who became corrupted by pride and ambition. Ezekiel describes Satan as a guardian cherub who was blameless in your ways from the day you were created till wickedness was found in you. However, this perfection was marred by sin, and as a result, Satan was driven in disgrace from the Mount of God. These scriptures not only recount the story of Satan's fall, but also serve as a warning about the dangers of pride and ambition. They remind us that even the most exalted creatures can fall from grace when they allow pride to take root. Satan's transformation from a guardian cherub to the tempter and accuser of humanity illustrates the corrosive power of sin. Once an angel of light, he became the embodiment of darkness, leading others astray just as he had been led astray by his own desires. Throughout the Bible, Satan is depicted not only as a fallen being, but also as an active adversary to God's people. He is seen accusing the faithful, as in Zechariah 3, where he stands at Joshua's right hand, bringing accusations against him before God. Even Jesus was not exempt from Satan's attempts to tempt and deceive. The Gospels recount how Satan tempted Jesus during his 40 days in the desert, challenging him to forsake his divine mission. However, Jesus resisted these temptations, demonstrating his unwavering commitment to his Father's will. In Luke 10 verse 18, Jesus reflects on Satan's fall, saying, "I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven," confirming the Old Testament view of Satan's origin and his ultimate fate. New Testament writings further emphasize the ongoing struggle between good and evil, with Satan playing a central role as the tempter and accuser. For instance, in 2 Peter 2 verse 4, the Apostle Peter writes, "For if God did not spare angels when they sinned, but sent them to hell, putting them in chains of darkness to be held for judgment." This passage, along with Jude 1 verse 6, which states that the angels who did not keep their positions of authority but abandoned their proper dwelling, these he has kept in darkness, bound with everlasting chains for judgment on the great day, highlights the fact that while Satan and his followers are still active, their ultimate fate is sealed. They will face judgment for their rebellion and be held accountable for their actions. So, why does God allow Satan and his angels to continue existing? The answer lies in the nature of God himself. God is all-powerful, and nothing can challenge his authority. When we question why God doesn't kill Satan, we are, in essence, questioning his wisdom and his plan. However, the Bible teaches us that God's actions are always a reflection of his nature. He is just, merciful, and sovereign. He allows Satan to live because Satan's existence serves a greater purpose within God's divine plan. God's ways are higher than our ways, and his thoughts are higher than our thoughts. Isaiah 55 verse 9. What may seem illogical or unfair to us is part of a much larger, incomprehensible plan that God is unfolding throughout history. Satan's continued existence serves to highlight the power of choice and free will that God has granted to all his creatures. Satan's presence on earth acts as a test of faith and obedience for believers, challenging them to remain steadfast in their devotion to God despite temptations and trials. In resisting Satan, believers are given the opportunity to strengthen their faith, grow in spiritual maturity, and draw closer to God. Ultimately, we can trust that God, in his perfect justice, will bring about the final judgment, where all creatures, including Satan and his angels, will be judged according to their deeds. The existence of evil, represented by Satan, is temporary, and God's sovereignty will ultimately prevail. As Christians, we are called to trust in God's plan, knowing that he is in control and that his purposes will be fulfilled, regardless of the adversary's actions. The continued presence of Satan in the world is a reminder of the ongoing battle between good and evil, but it also reassures us that God's ultimate victory is certain. The final judgment will bring an end to all rebellion, and God's kingdom will be established in full, where righteousness, peace, and love will reign forever.